Hello creatives, welcome back for our seasonal month, and I can't wait to show you tonight's design, which is going to be super simple, but it creates a sense of elegant Halloween if those two kind of things go into play. So the materials are super simple. Now, because this is a Facebook Live, I can't link any of my affiliate links from Amazon, but I promise you, once this goes into replay status and I can go back in and edit those, I will go ahead and include those for you. So tonight, like I said, we're doing a Gothic rose wreath, and I'm going to show you how we're going to kind of put all that together. I have a lot of clients that are looking for something different for Halloween, not your traditional cutesy, not your traditional like Halloween. So we're making something a little bit different for them. And what else was I going to say? So if you like this design, want to replicate it, the easiest way to do that is to click the share button. That way it shares it to your Facebook page and it's readily available when you are ready to put yours together. And you can incorporate this design into any color, any season, any occasion. So it is very universal if you want to expand that besides just for Halloween. Now, if you want to get notified when I go live, make sure you click the like and follow button. A lot of times I have people do one or the other, but the problem is if you do one or the other, Facebook for some reason wants you to have both, and then they'll notify you. So the like button's easy to find, but it's the follow button that's hidden, which is once you find the like button, you go over, there's like 3 little dots. Click those 3 dots, it opens up the option for you to follow. Then you can actually follow my page. And then you'll have access to be notified when I go live as long as you're on your device. So also, today is the 29th, right? 29, 30, 31. 3 more days remain because we're only launching this until August 31st. Of 2023. So if you're catching this at a later date, obviously that's no longer feasible. But for the next 3 days, if you want to join the private group, it is $1 to start for your first 2 weeks. And then if you decide that you like it after 2 weeks, it'll automatically bill the monthly fee, which is $27 a month until you decide to cancel. So it gives you a really good opportunity to kind of come in, kind of take a look at what's there. You have access to all the tutorials, plus you can participate in my private group live tutorials. So YouTubers, for you it's a little bit different. If you want to get notified when I'm uploading a video, click that subscribe button. I either have a subscribe button or the subscribe bell, depends on what device you're using. Love to have you subscribe. And then you'll be notified whenever there's a new video for you to upload. I check all my YouTube comments, so if you have a question, since this is a Facebook replay, go ahead and leave your question down below. You will also have access to the affiliate link once I upload the video for all the materials that I have that you can purchase from Amazon. Let's see. Let me go ahead and put my website in. Let me, just so that I am currently, it was funny because I didn't realize that I didn't have my title to this video when I first came live, and I'm like, I go to hit the live button and I'm like, wait, where's my live? And I was like, oh, I haven't put all the stuff in yet. So here we go. Let me get to the comments. So I'm going to go ahead and put my website address in. It's KatsCreationsNMore.com. Lots of fun stuff for you to find there that is included free, like some tutorials, bow maker recipe. It's also where you can find out how to purchase this wreath and anything else you've seen. I think what else? Oh, and if you want to join the private group while that tutorial trial period is going on, make sure you do that, because as of, what is it, Tuesday? Is it Thursday, Friday? Is it Friday? Thursday. I think Thursday at midnight is the last day for you to do that, and then Friday it goes back up to the full rate. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pan you down so you can see what we're doing. Give me just 1 second. We're going to go ahead and do this. And you should be able to see everything. So we're using the heart-shaped frame from the Dollar Tree. Hi, Janine from New Jersey. Welcome. Also, if you're new, I'd love to know where you guys are joining me from. And you never know, you might find a crafting connection here. Blanche, no, you are not late. We just started. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Anna. Hi, Genevieve. Hi, Janice. Hi, Audrey and Kathy. Okay, so super simple things you're going to need to have. Heart-shaped wreath frame from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some black burlap, which I got this from Walmart. You can get it from Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, wherever. You need the 5.5 inch width, and preferably the one that's a little on the looser weave side. Some of them are pretty stiff. We want some that are kind of on the softer side. In addition to that, you will need some ribbon for your hanger. I'm using this 3/8 inch black velvet with silver. Got this from Joann's during the Christmas holidays when black velvet and all the velvets were coming out. You will need some black velvet. And I don't even have this to where it's open yet. A black velvet 1.5 inch ribbon for our bow. I even have it in 2.5 inches. I'm not quite sure which one I will use, but I have the 2.5 inch, which is from Hobby Lobby. The 1.5 inch, again, velvet, is from Fifth Street Studios. So I have access to both of those. And then the main component is going to be these black foam roses. So they look very realistic. Since they are the foam, these are going to stand up really well outside in the weather because foam naturally repels water. But if you keep these in the direct sunlight, they have a tendency to fade a little bit more quicker. God, can't speak today. We're having speech challenges. So we're going to be using these. You'll need 35 of them. Now, if you purchase them through my affiliate link, you get 50 of them all in a box. And what I've done is they come wired, so it's really great if you want to use them in anything else that you have. I like to just use them like this. You will need 35. When you purchase them from Amazon, they come in boxes of 50. And trust me, you will find a use for all of them. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to remove this wire. We don't need it. So we're just going to bend that out so we can get our wire cutters in nice and tight. Go ahead and snip the wires off. I like to save these because you never know when you need a wire for something that, I don't know, maybe one of your picks, the wire is just kind of questionable. So I save them. I have them all in a little jar that sits here. So I always have those readily available. So hi, Phyllis from Zanesville, Ohio. Welcome. Okay. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Sue. Hi, Marlene from Altoona, Pennsylvania. Hi, Irvina and Maddie. Okay. So super simple. You guys are going to love this design. Hot glue gun is all you need. So this is not a kid-friendly craft. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually glue these to the frame. And we're going to start right here in the center on the V. And we're just going to glue that piece in. I like to, sometimes you have to turn your roses around. And I'm looking for something that kind of has a little V shape in it. So that when I place it right in that corner, it automatically creates the little V. So I think the way I had it is what I liked. And we're going to do the inside. And what you're going to do is you're just going to push that in so that we're starting on the back. Hot glue gun, I have it on high. And I'm just going to glue this at all the touch points where this touches my frame. Right in here and right in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and move my silicone cutting mat to my craft surface so that when I flip this over, as I'm getting ready to put the next one in, if that glue oozes down, we're good. Then we're just going to fit the next one in, and you want 3 in this section. So you want them not too snug, but kind of play with your spacing a little bit. Let's get the box over here. So you'll see me from time to time pick up another one. And as you can see, you've got three nice ones. And you want those kind of leaning in towards the center. So I'm going to flip this one over. We're going to go ahead and glue this one again on the touch points. Right here and right here. We're not worried about the back just yet. I promise you we'll address that at the end. And you can just kind of fluff your petals, kind of pull those away as you like them. And I like this one right inside. And I'm pretty precarious, or pretty particular, you know, to make sure that I get all my glue threads out of the way. We're going to go ahead and glue here. And right in here. So I'm just gluing it right along the places where the roses are touching my frame. Okay, making sure not to bring that back up to the top. We need to snug this one together a little bit. So just kind of find a way that your roses fit together real nice and snug. You don't want them to look like they're smashed, but that they're in there fairly good. Right there, touch point here, and then obviously right alongside here. Flipping that over, we're doing all the inside ring of that Dollar Tree heart frame. Let's see. Hi Sharon, long time no see as well. Hi Jean, welcome from Carson, California. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and just continue around. We're going to need 3 right in here, which should be really easy to match. Okay, right there. Flipping this back over. Grab our next one. And again, make sure you are angling those down. You don't want them up, because then what ends up happening is when you go to look in here, you can see all the backs. So our goal is angle those slightly forward. Okay. Because we want to make sure that it is nice and close to the frame. Okay, one more. Sometimes if you have a really wide one, just go back into your box and see if you have one maybe to where, oh, I don't know, as it was shipped, like this one is kind of more full here, but not as full here. So I'm going to lift that up, kind of place that right inside, again, tilting down towards the center. And I'm right on my frame again. So we're going to flip this over. Okay. And with black, everything is seen. So you want to make sure that we're only going to put, I think we're only putting 2 here. Just like this. And then I kind of want them pretty well put together to where, you know, we're trying as hard as possible to retain that shape. So we're looking for something that kind of has a little V that goes down like this one does. But we still want them in and down and tight. Nice and snug. Okay. Come in here. I'm just going to lift that lip up ever so slightly. And sometimes you just got to turn your rose around until you get it into a position that you're really happy with the way that looks. Okay. Again, right on our touch point. Okay. And then we're just going to keep going all the way around, making sure we're in there. So I have a tendency of going towards the inside rather than the outside of my frame. Now remember, we've got to get 3 in here. So you just practice your spacing a little bit until you can get your 3 in. This is what I was saying. It makes for a nice, really classy, kind of like a Gothic wreath. And we want to make sure we don't have any glue on the top, because black is just really super revealing. So we're making sure we can get that one in nice and snug, but not too snug that it looks like you smashed them in there. Hi Cheryl, how are you? Okay. So we're going to finish these 3 up. So that one looks a little wonky. I'm going to go here. Might end up putting this one in because it's kind of, so there, kind of there. Sometimes you just got to look until you get them all in. So that's technically how the inside 3 are going to look. So that's our very end. This will be the next piece. So we're going to push those together. Again, make sure they're leaning to the inside. And then we're going to, let's get that out. Squish this one right on the inside. There's always those ones for that purpose. There's always the weird ones that are like, looks like they've just been smashed. Save those, you'll need those. Okay. Flipping this back over, I'm going to go ahead and remove my glue threads from the inside and make sure that everything is nice and kind of pushing down here towards the center. Now if you look, we still have the integrity of our heart still here. So now we are going to work on the outside, and I'm going to start right here on my straightaway. And kind of what you want to do is you want to, like right here at the bottom curve, you're going to place 2. So you just got to play with placement and then look at those petals and see if you can try to get something that kind of forms a little V at the bottom. Like this one's pretty for the V. Like right there. And then if I sandwich this one in, see, we don't want to see the frame, but we want to make sure that the corner of our frame is covered. Like I like that one. I think we'll end up having to put this one in first. So let's go ahead and do this one. I'm going to try to get it to go at least halfway, tilting your foam until, you know, that it covers the bar. And I said I was going to start on the straightaway, but I think I'm going to start at the hardest part, which is right here. Okay. Flipping this back over. And then I'm going to look and see, hey, can we get something like that one? It kind of wraps around. Like that is perfect. This is about as perfect as it's going to get. And I'll show you what I mean when I pick this up so you can actually see the inside. So what I mean is if you look at that point, everything is completely covered right down here on that point. So that's exactly what we want. And we want to get rid of all those little wispy threads, unless you want to add spiders to your wreath. Obviously, if you want to add spiders to your wreath, then those little wispy threads might be advantageous to leave them on. Okay, we're doing the same thing. We're squishing back inside. I didn't mean to put my finger right inside there. right in there. Okay. So my whole goal is to try, you can't always get it that way, is to put a rose right in between the other two, because you don't want them to look like, you know, a rose, like rows of them. It looks better if you can slightly stagger them, which means that when it comes to trying to squeeze one in here, you might end up getting one that has to sit on the bar. And that's okay, because our placement on the outside ring is going to be different than our placement on the inside. So I'm always about, you know, making sure our foam looks okay. This one is perfect. Just trying to angle that. And see, this is where I'm saying it's going to have to sit on the bar. Part of it's going to sit on the bar. So this one's going to kind of be a little squishy, scrunchy one. Okay. Get our next one lined up. Make sure with these, because they do have the green leaf backing, that none of that leaf is showing. Matter of fact, we don't want anything showing at all. Trying to get them down into the crack. Okay, this one's perfect. It goes right in the center of those two. Now remember, the whiter part is going to have more there. Like you can fit more in. Again, make sure we keep all those little threads off our design, because black really lets it show. And here comes our rain. We have been waiting for rain all day today. Okay. Again, make sure your frame is completely covered. Back over. This one's really nice because it's very full. Again, sometimes you want that fullness on the bottom and maybe not so full on the top. So I like the way that the leaves kind of curl around, and as they curl, they're going to curl right over your frame. Right here. Flip that back over. Now I think I'm going to end up having to put 2 in here because I want to try to smush one right into the center. I was hoping maybe to do that, but I don't think it's going to let me. So I think we're just going to have to go 1. And again, I'm just spinning my rose around to get it to go where you want. Okay. Come in here. Your whole goal for the outside is to fill the gaps in between and to also cover your outside. So you want to make sure your outside is being covered. And I've got my frame right here. Flipping this back over. And we're going to come back in. And I like to angle my roses to where the petals are facing down. Right here. Again, see how these, the green is here. I don't like to see those. So I'm positioning them and then also lifting it up and looking at, hey, where does those petals fall? Can I see the frame? Because I want to be able to tuck them to where we don't see our frame, like we don't see anything. Because now these ones are kind of tilting a little bit to the outside. Again, just keep spinning them until you get the desired look you're trying to achieve. For me, I'm covering the outside of my frame. Right here. Okay. So you can always take that green floral tip and bend it under so that we don't see those from the outside. And trust me, all the aesthetics, all the technical, this stuff is all going to be covered. You're not even going to know that it's there. There are some people who cover it first, which makes it a little bit challenging because how do you know where everything's going to go? So I'm going to squish this one in just like we did over here. We have that tight spot where it sits right on the frame. Not to worry. Put that in place. And then again, just keep rotating that till it gets to where you want it to go. So I'm always looking on the outside, inside. I'm going to take that little green leaf and tuck it way down in there. See, sometimes you can find the little green leaves. You can snip those off if you want, if those are becoming more of a problem than you want. Like right in here, I have one that I just want to snip back. And you want them snug, because if they're not snug, then they just look too loose. And then you're going to see all kinds of gaps between them. Flip that over. We have one left right in here. Again, this is what I'm talking about. So if you don't want to see the green leaf part, just cut that tip off. And then when you go ahead and get it all smushed inside, we're going to go ahead and turn that over. Try to get this last one in. So right in here, right along our frame, and then right in here. Now this is where I'm going to remove all the little threads, as much of it as I can, without like all these little pieces right here, because sometimes when we go to cover the back, these have a tendency of popping out. So we're just going to remove those really carefully from the ends, wherever they might decide to just pop up. Okay, so everything is nice and clean around the inside. So let me, didn't mean to do that. What happens when you lay it back into glue? There we go. You're good. Okay, so this is the finished design. So as you can see, it looks very elegant, Looks like a bunch of ribbon roses. People mistake this for fabric or just ribbon, but it looks really elegant. Again, if you have little green tips that you don't want to see, like maybe here, you can go ahead and take care of those now. You can just trim them off because they'll be on the other side. But like this one feels like that could potentially be viewed from the inside. Right in here. I'm just going to go ahead and remove these because I just don't want those to be seen. There's that one. Okay, I think we are good. So that looks perfect. Anything that you want to readjust, now is the time to do it. So if you have something that isn't seated right, like this one, I want it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to go ahead and hold that, because once we add the backing, it looks funny looking at the back like that. Once you have the backing in place, you can't really do an awful lot because this is all going to be covered. Again, make sure all of our little glue threads are out of the way. Anything that you want to cover up, or it's all going to be hidden. Okay, so that one I just wanted in a little bit more snug. Okay, so now we're going to cover and add our hanger. Do you guys have any questions at all about how to put the base together? Let me look. Catherine, 35 foam roses is what it takes. Jen says, are you gluing the flower and the frame at the same time? Yeah, I'm basically just on the back, Jen. I'm just gluing it right where the flower touches the frame. And then I'm just laying a bead of glue right along the frame so that my flowers stay in place. And now we're going to cover the back. Right, Cheryl? It does. It almost looks like velvet. So, and it's super lightweight, so it's not going to be a really heavy wreath. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add our hanger, because if we added our back, we wouldn't be able to add the hanger yet. So I am using a 3/8 inch just black velvet ribbon, and I'm going to place my hanger. Let's see. Let's give it a fairly generous cut. We're going to go ahead and place this right in the center. I'm going to go ahead and do a crisscross little cute tie. Wow, it's getting super windy in here. About time the rain came though. I've been waiting all day. So we're going to put a nice little knot in there. But I'm going to redirect the knot to the bottom, because that is going to stay right inside my frame. Our whole goal is to make sure that we have that hanging in the center. So I'm just going to actually take a little bit of glue, because I really want it centered. Otherwise, it won't hang evenly. So I'm going to go ahead and place that right at the center part of my frame, so that when I add my backing, it's going to go right over the top for that. Okay, burlap backing. Make sure. Oh, thank you, Anna, for the stars. Where did the roses come from? It's the Amazon. I'll put my affiliate links in when this goes to replay. But Amazon. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove that. Get rid of the tape. So when I say loose weave, I need it to be flimsy. And you can do it the easy way. If you want to just cover it up with black felt, you're welcome to do that. I try to do it a little classy and add a touch of burlap. just because it really, really protects the door. So does felt though. So what we are going to do is we're going to stretch this out. Let's go ahead and put this ribbon away. And go ahead and pin that so it doesn't roll away. And we are going to double this over. Get rid of that. We're going to start right here at the bottom. And we're actually just going to glue this whole piece, because when you fold it in half, it is the exact width of our frame. And so we don't want any of our frame showing. I guess you could take it and zip tie it, but I like it to look a little bit more finished. So I'm going to go right along here, right along here. I'm going to go all the way up. And all this is going to get covered by our burlap. So fold it in half, nice and neat. We're going to lay that right on that frame. And we're just going to the straight part. So we're just going right up here to this portion of the wreath. And I am going to tack in just a couple light pieces right here so that my burlap stays together. It's going to actually sit on the inside, so it's not going to flap open. So we want the opening on this side. And then as I go around, I'm going to pleat it. Let's get rid of that. And so the first pleat, you still want to keep your corners together. We're going to just slightly overlap and create our first pleat right here. So we're kind of going around the corner. And I know for some of you, you're like, well, that's way complicated. I'm just going to get a piece of velvet and I'm going to cut that right out. Absolutely. You can definitely do that. I have done this in the past. I just think that it makes for really nice backing because it's nice and soft. I think sometimes with the velvet, you might be able to see the glue kind of popping through. And then right here where it's folded, I'm going to go ahead and lay a bead of glue in there so it lays flat. And then the same thing. Make sure your glue threads are out of the way. We're going to go ahead and pleat again. So you're only going to do this when you're on your corners. Okay, so our pleat is going to allow me to make the loop around the corner. So all the way around, and I'm just gluing it to the edge of my frame. And then here we're going to only go about halfway through our loop, because we're going to have one more pleat. And then I'm going to open this up, same thing. I'm going to glue my pleat side down. And then we have one final pleat right here so that we can get, well, through this section, we can make the turn. Okay, nice, neat, make the turn. Let's get all those little glue threads out of the way. So this is going to go halfway here. So it slightly overlaps our previous burlap. Oops. I'm hoping my goal is that it goes through both layers and just secures both of them. And then I have to go up to the top. We're going to do this here. Okay, same thing right where our pleat is. We want to glue the pleat closed. Trying to make sure we keep all the glue threads out because everything shows on black. Like our moms told us, everything shows up on black. So this is going to make it all the way to the corner. So just like that. And then we're going to do another funky pleat and get it to go all the way around. So we're going to get it all the way to the center here. Let's go ahead and get that in and around. And then I'm only going to the corner where the V is, because then we have to make our other pleat. Okay, nice pleated corner. We're going right inside because we need to get it to go back up and around. Okay, now we're going right about here. So this is where we're gluing. Right up here to that point. Again, keeping the edges of our burlap together. And then I'm going to do the same here, right along the top. And just over our pleat. And then we're going to glue our pleat closed. And I'm just moving it around. Okay, we've got to adjust our pleat. I'm trying to keep the glue off of the black burlap. And any lint that is just randomly popping up. So our pleat needs to be at the corner to get it to go around. Just like so. So open, glue your pleat through. Come up to the top and glue your pleat around. Then we're going to pleat it. What do we do? 1, 2, 3 times. So I'm going to pleat again because we need it to make that turn. And don't be afraid, to do a couple pleats just wherever it looks nice for you. It's just to make it through the corner. Okay, I'm trying to get this one to stay. We're stretching it on the back. And let me glue my pleat sides down, and then that'll keep this from popping up. So there's that one, and I'm just gluing on the underside and then just pushing those down. And that'll keep those in place so that we can make that last pleat, and then we just have the rest of this to go. So you can see how that just kind of puts everything back in place, and then you're on your home stretch now for that final piece. Okay, so we're going to go up at the top, go right to the frame, and then we're going to go ahead and Place that all the way in. And then we'll glue our pleat down. So just hold that in place. And then we'll go ahead and glue this pleat down. Okay, and then as we come up, let's go ahead and remove these wispy little glue threads that have just found a way to attach themselves like these. Because it's, you know, as you're pulling your burlap around, we're getting that in place. So I have one more small little pleat to go right here to get that to line up just perfectly here. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this off because I don't need to be working with the rest of the burlap. It just doesn't want to lay the way I need it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and address that. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my bead all the way along here. So I need to get my little short little pleat in right there so I can make my corners look nice and sharp. Go ahead and glue that. Glue the underside of my pleat so that it lays nice and smooth. Again, remove any glue threads you see remaining so that really all we see. The aesthetics is covered. And then what I want to do is get it into a nice V. So I'm just going to cut this into a V so that when I fold it, nice, I get this winding up where I want it to be, which is in a nice little point. So just like that. I'm going to go ahead and lay that here. We're going to cross over. We're folding that over. I'm going to remove that last little piece of burlap. And I'm just going to finalize my end right there. Okay. So end, let me go ahead and get this right there where I want it to stay. Because I want that to end right where I want it to stop. So I don't want to have any lift right there. Put a little bit in there, just a small little thread, so it'll hold that nice and flat. So there is the back. Taking probably for some of you, you're like, why bother? Because it looks really nice. It looks like you took the time and really put something wonderful together. Here is our top. Now we need to create a gorgeous little bow for this. It's weird, the sun is out. Right? Cheryl said, this is weird, but it might be pretty with a diamond engagement ring inside. Like a Halloween engagement. Wouldn't that be gorgeous to have a nice little velvet box right inside here? What a great idea. See, you're already thinking outside of the box. So you're helping clients come up with a solution for, wow, that would be really nice to do that. Okay, so we're doing a simple hand-tied bow. So I am going to just snip the end off. Actually, I don't like this little, it'll go away in a second. It just sounds worse on a metal roof. My deer is standing outside going, what the heck? because it's sunny out. And there it goes. So that's how it rains in Washington. So to do a dovetailed edge, we're going to take our wired edges, we're going to put those together, we're going to cut from the folded side down to that wired point, and you need to come up with an idea of roughly where do you want your tails to fall. So I kind of want mine right about in here. You can have them to where they fall a little bit higher. This is 6 inches. So I'm going to kind of play with this for the measurements, and I'm going to go with a 7-inch, like measured it out at 7, and I'm going to twist it. I'm going to measure out another 7 inches and bring that back in. So why do I do that? It's so that I know exactly that my loop size is exactly the same size as the other one without putting it in my bow dabra. So just like this. Nice, gorgeous, classic black velvet bow. And I know it's hard for you to see. So let me go ahead and put the pipe cleaner on this one. And then we're going to dovetail that end. And of course now it gets cloudy. Alright. So super cute hand-tied bow. I think doing the 2.5 inch would have been way too big. Just want to make sure my loops are exactly the same. So there is our bow. And guess what? We know right where the frame is, right? Because we placed that on the inside. And I'm going to go ahead and poke it right through my burlap. This could technically also be a hanger if you wanted to. And remember, Cheryl, how you talked about, oh, wouldn't that be pretty if you put an engagement ring inside? You could technically right here in the center put a gorgeous engagement ring right in the center. So we're just going to fan that out. And of course I have the black door, so you're never going to be able to see it on the black door. But let me look. We could, I'm trying to think of what I have that we can put in the center. Let me think. I think I know. Another dollar store item for the win. We have really nice little pearls. We could, and I think I'm going to, I'm just going to add that one white pearl just to the center, which is going to be really hard to do. Ever so gentle, right? Right in the center. Just like that, and you have a very, and I know it's hard to see. Trying to zoom it in as much as possible. Give it just 1 second. Right? A spider with a jeweled body would be absolutely adorable too. So let me lift this up so you guys can see. This is what it looks like. And I know, again, it's kind of hard to see. Let me go out. Yeah, rhinestone definitely, you could definitely put that in. But your whole goal is to make sure, hey, when you're looking around the outside, can you see inside? So let me switch my door around really quick so that we have the white. So let's take this one off. I'm going to go ahead and pan you guys up. Right, Cheryl? Super simple, right? All about the simple. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. And here's our little velvet hanger we have. I'm going to remove the last of my glue threads, because those babies show up on everything. And there is something super cute and simple, right? It is definitely Gothic and elegance, and I think that's what I called it. So it should zoom in here momentarily so you guys can see it. And this is what it looks like on a full-size door. There we go. I don't know why it just jumped right to full-size view. It's still kind of hard to see. And I have all my lights on. And it's so difficult to see. I'm like, any closer? Let's try. Let's see if we can get it. Will it jump? It's probably going to jump again. I moved the door and then we readjusted it. And there we go. So that is the final design. It looks real, like I said, to be here and to see it, it's kind of hard. I'm disappointed that the camera, even though this is high def camera, it's not picking it up the way I see it, which is all the depths of all the crevices and everything else, but it is there. So, final finished dimensions, because that's what everyone's going to ask. And here's another thing too. That's what happens when you put a screw in there. Finished dimensions is from the very tip all the way to the top. It sits right at 14 inches, top to bottom. Side to side is about 15 inches wide, and the best part is that it's only 3 inches deep, which means that customers with storm doors, this is another design that you can use, and is a lower price point for you. So for those of you looking to stock your shop and looking for items that still look really great, but the cost side of things is a little on the lower side, then this is a good, what I'd call probably a high small to a low mid-range price point for this particular type of design. And you've gotten some great tips here from some of my creative members that were learning to think outside of the box, other than what else could you use this for. This would be a really great engagement idea for someone who's very, you know, I have a lot of clients who like the darker side of things as part of their decor. So it doesn't mean, you know, anything different other than this is just a really classy, elegant look. For me, it almost seems like breakfast at Tiffany's with that velvet pearl type of look. So when you hold it too close to the camera, you can see the details, right? So absolutely. So it just looks so pretty. So here's all the details. So look at how you see all the highs and lows of those color points just coming through. And that's what you see when you're here, is just for some reason the camera just sees it as big black blob. So there you guys go. Another design down in the books. And then if you'll join me Thursday morning, I have another super simple design for you for dog lovers. So come join me for that one, and I hope you guys will show up. Thursdays, it is at 11 Pacific, 1 Central, and 2 Eastern. Other than that, have an amazing night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.